Do you find yourself saying yes even when you want to say no? Today, we're going to talk all about boundaries. A lot of times, people think that if they're maintaining boundaries, that they're being selfish, or they might think that they're going to end up pushing people away, that people aren't going to want to be around them, or they might think that other people are going to think they're being cold. Do you notice the point in setting up boundaries for yourself? Because other people don't know what your capacity is. You know what your capacity is because you live with yourself day in and day out. What are boundaries really? Boundaries are those things that help to be able to keep you in check emotionally and have your well-being to really be established and not disrupted. Because when you think about it, if you have a house and you have a fence around the house, that fence is signifying a perimeter. It's signifying where outsiders are allowed to come. Once they come up against that fence, they can't come any further. Now, if there is a gate along the fence, then if you choose to open that gate, then the outsider will be able to come in closer to the house. Now, if we look at that as ourselves being the house, and the fence being our boundary line, then you can see that there's really no issue. Because do we get on people for having fences around their house? No, it just helps us to see what the boundaries are, especially if you're next to another house or if you have a house next to a house, because then you know where your own property line versus where your neighbor's property line is. Same thing with personal boundaries. You're establishing how close you want people to come in, and you're really you're being able to have control over that. Now, it's when people infringe on our boundaries when there are issues. And if that happens, that is a whole nother topic. So back to boundaries. When we're setting up our boundaries, it's our personal space. Sometimes when I work with people, I like to do an exercise. It's a kind of like a boundary exercise so that they're able to actually see their physical boundaries, because we have physical boundaries as well. And what that looks like is when we are talking to people. How close do you get when you talk to people? Certain cultures have a different comfort level when it comes to boundaries. So I like to do an activity where you have two people and you continue to walk towards each other. You're walking towards each other, walking towards each other. Once somebody starts feeling uncomfortable or like you're getting a little too close, they'll put their hand out, which signifies, okay, stop. That's my boundary. And then you can see where your physical boundaries are. Now, going beyond physical boundaries, we want to talk about other boundaries too, because other boundaries include, for example, people asking you to do things. And where is your boundary? Where do you stop saying yes? Do you feel like you have to say yes all the time? Now, you really don't have to say yes all the time. You can say no. And it's important to do that because when you say no, you're setting up a boundary. You're saying, no, I'm not going to go beyond a point that I have indicated for myself. Or I know what my purpose is. I know what my calling is, and what you're asking me to do doesn't line up with that. So I have to say no, because that's not going to line up with what I'm supposed to be doing in this particular season in my life. Now, I have some notes. And so, why is it difficult? Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about why is it difficult to maintain boundaries? It's difficult, especially if you're a person who thinks about what other people think about you. Now, if you sit in that space, you're constantly going to feel guilty about saying no, because then you might think, oh, they're not going to like me anymore, or they're not going to ask me to do things anymore. No, that's typically not the case, because typically when you're dealing with other healthy individuals, they're going to understand that you're not going to be able to say yes to everything. And so that's where we need to get out of our own way and get out from that mental block that we might have to be able to, again, go back to our purpose and our why we're doing what we're doing so that we don't fall into doing the things that we're not meant to be doing at that point. What do healthy boundaries look like? Great question. So, what it looks like is really thinking about like, what are your values and staying in line with your values for this season of your life, the purpose that you have for this season in your life. And when you're really being able to maintain that, it is being able to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't go out today because I have to work on my project, or I'm sorry, I can't go out today because God is calling me to go help this person over here, or no, I'm not able to speak at this engagement because I'm already speaking at five other engagements and I need some time to rest. And it's okay to say that. When we even look at it from a biblical perspective, we see that Jesus took time to retreat. He took time to retreat and to pray. Jesus also did not do everything that people asked him to do. He was really, when he was working in his ministry, he was doing things as was purposed and planned for him, right? So he knew those things that were outside of that plan. So he wasn't doing everything that people asked. He was doing what he was meant to be doing, what he was meant to say yes to. And that's similar with us. It's okay to, again, go back to seeking God for what your purpose, what his purpose and plan is for your life, to taking those times to really retreat, to be your CEO, and really to reflect on what the purpose and the plan is for this season in your life, the season in your business, the season in your home. And when you know what those are, it becomes so much easier to be able to set and to maintain your boundaries because you know that you have a plan, you have a goal, right? And so when somebody's asking you to do something, it becomes that much easier to say, no, I can't do that now. Maybe another time. You can be gracious about it. You don't have to be so cold. No, I'm not doing it. You don't have to be that way. You can be transparent. You can say, I already have a lot of other commitments, right? I would love to do that, but I have a lot of other commitments right now, so I won't be able to do that. And that's all you have to say. And most times people will understand. And that's what we have to realize, that it's not all about us and thinking that, oh, they're going to be so upset, because most likely they're going to get past it much quicker than you most likely will get past it. Keep that in mind. And you don't have to say no all the time. There can be other times that you say yes. If it's according to your purpose, according to your why, then go ahead and say yes. What I would encourage you to do is to take a moment and to really reflect before answering. So don't just automatically say yes or no to requests. Sit, like literally take time, take a moment, sit and reflect. Ask God, is this something that I'm supposed to be doing? Take stock of what it is that you're already doing. Are you able to take that thing on? And then go ahead and come up with your answer. Let the person know, be gracious about it, and most likely they will be okay. If they're also an adjusted person, they will be okay. My challenge to you this week, I want to challenge you to say no when you need to. Even when it feels so hard on the inside, you're getting knots, say, no, I can't do it. And again, first stop, reflect on what you have going on, if you can really do it or not. And if you really can't, I challenge you to maintain and uphold your boundaries. Thank you so much for listening today. And if you like this type of content, go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe so you can get notified when I have new videos coming out. And also, don't forget to grab my free guide to help you with your boundaries.